my last CA video, you all shared your thoughts on how big the Pokedex for this game should be, and while we'd love to see all our favourites return, the general consensus was it would be closer to that of the last Legends game, which had 242 Pokemon. This got me interested, so I took to twitter.com where I found this number. Now, I'm not a fan of leaks. Most of the time it just ruins the fun of speculation, rather than adding to it, so I tend to keep away. This can obviously lead to me making some redundant videos, but screw it. That said, today I'm going to be discussing the leaked size for the Dex, alongside all the megas that are rumoured to be in this game. So, if you're trying to keep away from spoilers, I understand. Otherwise, please sit back and join me. Also, I'd like to note, if you have seen more leaks, I'd appreciate if you keep them out of the comments, for the sake of me and others. Anyway, back to it. Like I said, Central Leaks made a post stating that Zygarde is number 230 in Legends ZA's Pokedex, which then does line up with its predecessor, especially considering that the game is probably working with a smaller map. So, I went and crunched the numbers, and it seems to line up. After going through the trailers in as much detail as I could bear for my last few videos, I found 136 Pokemon, including their evolutions. Apart from our new starters, every Pokemon we got to see was previously in the Kalos Dex from X and Y, which included Charizard, as well as a decent number of Megas. Now, 136 leaves us with less than 100 more Pokemon to speculate on, but a good place to start is with the missing Gen 6 Pokemon. Surprisingly, we are yet to see the starters, where you may get to catch them in the wild, like with Gen 4 starters last time. Then, there are the likes of Helioptile, Carbink, Klefki, Trevenant, Pumpkaboo, and Avalugg. Then there are the fossil Pokemon, which I expect will have to revive unless Kalos is experiencing some space-time distortions. Then our legendaries, and finally Mythicals, which we'll be coming back to later. This will add 28 more, bringing the total to 164. Next, I'd barely call this an assumption, but I assume we'll see most, if not all, of the old Megas. The ones we are missing from X and Y include Beedrill, Sharpedo, Venusaur, Blastoise, Ordino, Medicham, Marwile, Aerodactyl, Manectric, Garchomp, Abomasnow, Aggron, Banette, Scizor, and Mewtwo. If we're going by the assumption that every Mega is returning, even if they aren't from the Kalos Dex, that'll mean we have the Hoenn starters, Metagross, Glalie, Camerupt, Lopunny, Latias, Latios, and the Weather Trio, the last of which I feel are quite unlikely. Before we get into leaks, there are a few Pokemon missing that don't fit into our previous criteria, but I feel have some relevance to be included. First, for some reason, although we saw Pansear and Pansage, we still haven't seen Panpour or Simipour, so they feel like a shoo-in. Then, there are Pokemon like Lapras and the Kanto birds, which felt like they had some significance in X and Y. Lastly, we have Rotom and Ditto, which have quite a bit of staying power in past generations, so I've added them on. Like with the last leak, we turn to Centro Leaks for a list of new Megas we'll be getting in this game. I'll skip over all the Pokemon I've already confirmed that will be getting Megas. So that leaves us with Scrafty, Scolipede, Skarmory, Dragonite, Clefable, Excadrill, Electros, Drampa, and Phalanx. With all these Pokemon, that brings our total to 246, which, among the astute of you may realise, is greater than 230. I don't believe the leak that Zygarde is number 230 is wrong, so we're going to do a little tinkering. If you were unaware, due to the fact that mythical Pokemon are released after the game comes out, that usually places them at the end of the Dex. We also see this in Legends Arceus. So I'll be moving Diancie, Hoopa, and Volcanion past Zygarde as numbers 231 to 233. There are then my oddball picks, as well as the Gen 3 legendaries, which probably won't be making it, so I'll have to cut them. Before I forgot about Banette's existence, this brought us down to exactly 230, but now we are left with 2 extra at 232. Honestly, I could have made a mistake, but even beforehand I planned on taking this further since this dex wasn't sitting well with me. Between all the Megas there are a fair few which aren't native to Kalos. It's likely that Quasartico brought these Pokemon over to study Mega Evolution, so to add a little fun to this video, I'm going to be removing all non-native Pokemon and placing them in the Pokedex after Zygarde. This will bring our count down to 203 out of 230, giving me 27 new Pokemon to add, all of which won't be my favourites, I swear. But while I'm at it, go down to the comments and make sure to let me know what Pokemon you'd rather be added into this theoretical gap. First, I want to add Zigzagoon, but I could also see Sentret and Furret making it instead. Then, my boy Dunsparce, Azumarill, who seems quite likely, Dodrio or Swellow, Croagunk, Snorlax, who I can definitely see blocking up an alleyway, Exploud, Crossowl, Bellaconf, Mr. Mime or Wobbuffet, Gigaluf, Pachirisu, Chatot, and finally Cryogonal, because for some reason I swear I thought I saw them in a trailer, so it must have been a vision. Honestly, there's a load more Pokemon I want to see in this game, and while I don't think there's much room for regular Pokemon, if the Pokedex does turn out this way with some sort of post-dex, then we could see a few more foreign mons, and with the help of Hooper, any legendary we want. Imagine the set pieces and arenas we could get for fights against the likes of Kyogre and Groudon with this new battle system. But that's me for today. Make sure to let me know what you think, and feel free to drop any ideas you'd like me to work on next. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time.